Okay, so let's do it. So how do you build your community? So there's community and there's fan base. They are quite similar, but a bit different. We just have to make sure that a community is a support system that is not only about you. A fan base is basically about you. I will try to go in and out of fan base, of community and fan base, so you see the difference. But just so you know, it's a bit different, and we'll try to condense everything together. So this is what we're going to go through today. We are going to talk about, so we're going to do an introduction. So please feel free to introduce yourself on the chat for me. Finding your why. This is like the strongest, best, like this is the thing. And I know it sounds so simple, and you've probably seen like this in millions of events before, but we will go through it and you'll understand why. Building a vision, like what does it look like? And being really honest with yourself. Defining your audience and the top tips for success. So here we go. Just want to make sure that I have everybody in the chat. Nobody's waiting. We should be fine. Okay, let's go. So if you want to introduce yourself in the chat box, please do. What you do, what brings you to this virtual meeting, and something that maybe if you know me or we know each other, I don't know about you. Please share that. While you do that, I will tell you a little bit more about me. Some of you know me as Andrea, that's the founder of Amplify Her, but I'm also, my background is I'm an artist. I'm a singer-songwriter, music producer. I've been in the industry for 20 years. One of the things I've done in my life is I've organized a European self-funded tour in 2012. We did like 5 countries, 6 cities. It was a really successful tour, and we did everything ourselves. When I say we, is myself and the band. So I would say 80% me and 20% the band. But it was a group effort. So that was one. Because that was successful, we then carry on and did a US tour that again was self-funded. And that was a bit much harder, to be honest. The US tour was much harder because of it was longer, and it's a lot more driving, a lot less condensed, so you have to drive like in places further down, so it's quite difficult to get there. In 2016 I moved back to Europe. I launched my album, and from my album I then created an immersive show, 360. So it was the screen, there was visuals, there was the sound, there was musician coming from everywhere. We did it at the Hippodrome. It was sold out. We had about 200 people there, and I did all this with people, a little team, but mostly it was no funding, no money, just work. So I'm coming from, if you want it, you can get it, and we can make it happen. So I'm just going to go through the chat box for a little bit. Is anybody has a mic issue? Can you guys hear me? Yeah? Yeah. Okay, good. So Eloise, singer-songwriter, releasing my first single. Amazing. Becca, artist, singer-songwriter, run a cappella 360 artist development company. Very cool. Taylor, I'm a songwriter. I guess the thing I know about me, I'm slowly a songwriter. Okay, cool. That's cool. Eloise, singer-songwriter. I'm reading really fast because, yeah. Lorraine. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I'm autistic, disabled, alter, pop, singer-songwriter, and disability advocate. That's amazing. I mean, we just talked about this, but that's a really cool cause. Cool. Okay. And if you want to share more, please feel free. All right. So like I said at the beginning, if you have your hands up, that means I get to pick on you. And when I say pick, I mean in a nice way. I get to ask you a question directly. So you will have to have your camera and mic on. And this is mostly at the beginning. So I'll choose 2 people that along the track, I'll just bring back the question so you know where we're at. Please know that this is recorded, so this will be used on YouTube. If you do not want, if you feel like you need to share something personally and you do not want everybody to know about it, maybe do not raise your hand. But if you're okay with putting it out there and seeing what happened, do raise your hand. So open hand, that's it. All right, so the question is why? So why do you do what you do? And why do you want to do it? So I'm gonna look at somebody that's on there. So for example, okay, Renaya Ayer, are you there? Yeah.
Hi.
Hey. All right.
Hi.
You're the first one up. So tell me what do you do and why? Why do you do what you do? And why do
Okay.
you do it?
So my name is Rania Iyer. I'm 22 and I'm from Singapore originally, but I've been here in the UK for about almost 2 years now. And my why is very personal. I want to represent South Asia and females in the global music industry. So for me, when I write songs, I always write it from a very feminist perspective. It's very much so driving the force of all of my music. And I'm currently working on an EP that is very much so about the impact of male validation on my lineage and just in my life and tradition and culture and things like that.
Okay. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Please note, there's no judgment in what I'm saying. I'm asking you questions just to get to a certain point, so bear with me. Again, but why? So you've said everything that was on paper is brilliant and very exciting, representation, etc., etc. But why? Why do people want to follow you? Why would people want to listen to your music?
Give me a second. I think it more so connects to, I want to be able to connect with other women. And I want to be able to create a safe space where we can all relate to something that controls us in a way, which is truly the patriarchy. And I want to be able to use that as a force to go against it. Does that answer your question a bit more?
Yes. Okay. So use it as a force, but why you? What makes you? Why would people want to come and listen to your music? Why?
I think I have a really good way of connecting with people and utilizing emotion within social circles to draw people in. So I want to be able to reflect everything in that way.
Okay. What is it that if I come to your show, if I hear you sing and perform, what is the one thing I'm going to feel?
I think empowered is the word. And I like to write a little bit more brutally. So a lot of my music is just kind of like, I'll just put it out there. So it does mean that some people can get triggered, but I think that's a really good thing because when you trigger something, you're basically starting something, you're creating something in order to heal it in a way.
Okay.
So I guess, yeah, you would feel empowered, hopefully awakened, hopefully angry, hopefully in a good way. And yeah.
Okay. All right. So right now, the emotions you describe are quite interesting. So I'm gonna stay with angry. I'm gonna switch person. So stay with me. I'm gonna come back to you. Taylor. Taylor Eng.
Yes, hi.
Hi Taylor. How are you?
Mm.
Tell me, why do you do what you do?
Okay, so I'm Taylor. I'm just a songwriter. I'm from Switzerland. but I've been in the UK for the past 3 years now. I did my studies in songwriting, which has led me to just become a songwriter. And why I do songwriting is pretty much, it is, I guess, for two reasons. One is like emotional release, and the other is to bring emotional values to other people. So I do it for myself, but I also do it in order for other people to connect with what I say. Yeah.
Okay, so connection.
Yeah.
Cool. So why would people listen to your song? Give me something a bit more deep. Like, what is your songs about? What are you writing about?
It's difficult because when I write songs, I write them solely for pitching purposes. So I don't really write for myself and what my emotions are. I do, but I do it like more of like a commercial way of, okay, cool, this could be pitched to this artist. This could go out to this artist. So I have no emotional I do have an emotional connection to a certain degree, but I let that so quickly because I know that I want to be commercially more successful, and that's more of like what has value to myself than me putting my real emotions down on paper. Doesn't answer the question, does it?
Yeah. So then my question is, why are you here today wanting to build your community?
So I want to build community for a different reason. It's not for me in my songwriting. It's more like to hone in a community of songwriters, because I'm so passionate about songwriting, and I'm very passionate about songwriters getting a fair pay. So I want to hone in like a community of songwriters and start like a circle of songwriters that get to explain their lyrics and what their version of events is all about than what the artist actually interpret it to be. So I'll like see how I can hone songwriters in and how I can make them aware of this. Yeah.
Cool. So like a behind the scene, behind the song type thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving forward, but thank you so much for sharing. I'll come back around. Thank you. Cool. Okay, so whatever we're doing when we're going through our why is about asking ourselves why we're doing it. If you don't know why you're doing it, if you're finding it out as you go, that's fine. But knowing exactly why you do it is going to give you like basically the bigger picture. Because if you're doing something for a bigger reason, you're going to hold to it way longer than if you're just doing it because you want to be recognized, be famous. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be famous, let's go for it. But you know why you're doing it. You want to be famous, you want to make money, great. That's why we're going for it. Whatever it is just going to make us really focus on the goal and really going for it. So there is the aspect of be honest. Finding the reason why you choose a certain direction will save you a lot of time. It's very important. I meet a lot of people that in general do tell me, I want this because I want to be known, or I want my music to help people. Those are two different things. I want to make money out of music. I want my music to help people. Those are two different things. That doesn't mean you can't do both, but those are two different things, and they'll send you in two different directions. So really being honest with what you want with yourself. In the last post, I put that if you ask yourself 5 times why, then the actual answer the truth of it all will come. So if you don't know why you're doing it, if it's just because you love it and you just want to see where it brings you, there's nothing wrong with that again. But knowing the reason, your bigger purpose, your mission is what's going to hold you to keep going, because it's a hard industry and we all know that. So once we figure out our why, what we want is to create the vision. So what's the big picture? What's the dream? So for Renaya, are you back? Are you around?
Hi, I'm here.
So what's the big picture for you?
It's to become a global artist within the next 5 to 10 years, and to represent my culture, and to keep releasing albums every 2 years, and tour and things like that. Yeah.
Cool. Very good. Okay, cool. What makes you happy?
What makes me happy
Mm-hmm.
in terms of music or just in
Music.
general?
Music.
Being able to connect with people.
Right.
Like that's so generic, but it's like, I guess that's why we all do it.
Okay,
you
but
know?
more specifically, is it when you're singing, people are singing your song back? Is it when after a show you get to talk to people? What is it specifically?
I think it usually is like when people tell me that's exactly how I feel in a song, and then they tell me, oh my God, you're like speaking something that I've went through. Like that to me has always hit the hardest more than anything else.
Okay. Okay, cool. Or what comes easy to you in the music and in recording? Remind me, you released some songs already?
Yeah.
Right. And you've done shows, you've done showcases, okay. So what's easy for you?
I guess in terms of songwriting, melody making is the easiest for me. Usually the melody will come first, and then it'll be matched with lyrics, and then I'll like kind of work on the nitty-gritty lyrics as time kind of goes on, and then it'll become a fully fledged song. That to me has always been second nature because it is a form of catharsis for me. So
Okay.
it's not like I go into a studio and I write. It's more so like if I'm going through something, I'll write about it, which is, everybody goes through things. So it's very personal.
Okay. If there was we're putting everything in one, so the whole music industry, from like putting your show, performing, writing, recording, what is connecting, what is the thing that comes easy to you? And when I say easy, I mean like it's just you don't even need to think about it.
Probably performing, probably like just singing on stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So now, why I say what comes easy to you and why I'm putting an emphasis on that. Again, I'm here for you to build a community, for you to know how to build a community, and it takes time, and it takes everything basically you have aside from everything else you're doing. The thing is, when it comes easy to you, you keep doing it. It's just not an effort, when it's hard and you practice it and you become better at it, that's one thing. But for example, if you are a shy person and performing live is like something that's difficult for you because it's hard to go on stage, it's hard. Now, that doesn't mean in 10 years you'll be at the same place. The more you do it, the better you get at it. That's fine. But in terms of your community, in terms of why people are coming to you, why people are listening to you, why is that the thing that's going to be growing your community bigger, faster? No, it's not. Because when you feel uncomfortable, people will know you're comfortable. So it's all about finding the thing that's just natural. It just comes easy to you, and using that to grow your fan base, to grow your community. I think I will share that when 15 years ago, I was really on I want to make music, I want to be an artist, I want to do this. A lot of people that were around me, not a lot, but 2 or 3 told me, but you know that everything you're doing, there's one common point. And I was like, well, what's the common point? Communication. That's my easy part. I communicate. It's very easy for me to talk. It's very easy to say how I feel. It's very easy for people to open up. It's very easy for me to communicate, right? It's very easy for me to write a song about how I feel, right? So then building that upon building a community, communication is an easy tool for me to access. Now, that doesn't mean that other things are not easy for me, but those are things that I do, waking up. There's nothing, it just comes easy. So wherever you're thinking of building your fan base or building a community, think of things that come to you easy. If it's, you love writing melodies, for example. If writing a melody comes easy to you, how do you make the person that's following you feel special? Maybe you create a 10-second song for you, for your fan, for example, or for somebody that have come to your show 10 times, that bought 10 tickets. Maybe you make them feel special like this. So anything that comes to you that you feel you want to share, that you feel could be good for your community and easy, is very important. Now we're going to who is your audience. So live show, who comes to hear you over and over again, who comments on your post, and who listens to your music or looks at your algorithm. Now for songwriters is who sings your song, who comments on your post, or who comes back as an artist, customer, and want to be back on your song. This could be manipulated in very different ways, but we want to know who's there. So I know maybe you're starting and maybe there's 3 people, your mom, your grandma, and your brother. And they're coming because they're like, okay, we got to do it because nobody, that we have to support. That's fine. There's still 3 people. 3 people that after the show you can ask feedback from. What did you think? Do you think this song was better than that song? Do you think that song was better than that song? What do you think? How can I do this better? Just keep on asking whoever's coming to you to see you what they want, what they feel, what they want to hear. They have the answer for you. Now, sometimes, obviously, they'll tell you, they'll get their stuff mixed up with who you are. And that's fine. As in, like, they'll tell you, oh, I didn't like the way you dressed. Or, oh, I didn't, trust me, I've heard it all. But what we want is for them to give you that feedback that's going to make you grow. You know, oh, I remember turning to my musicians and saying to them, for example, oh my God, you guys, like today, we're not on. I said that on the mic, for example, and then my musicians came back to me and told me, Andrea, do not say that on the mic, please. This is very offensive to us. I didn't say it in a bad way, but that's how they took it. It never happened again. Another thing, like just listening to what people want and taking it with a pinch of salt, as in, how can I do this better? How they're telling you what they want, really. And if that's your mom, your sister, your brother, your cousin to start, that's the start. And then we want them to bring people to your show. So how do we do that? How do we make people listen to your track when you have so many songs out there? And it all comes down to, what is it that you give them? What is your why? And that why has to be completely different than everybody else that's out there right now, because it's only you. You are one person. You're authentic. You're like nobody else, right? So they have to know that they're coming to you because you are giving them something. I'm going back to the why again. What are you giving them? What are somebody coming to your shows, listening, wanting from you? What is it? Finding your why is very important. Defining your audience, then that comes out. Who comes to your show? Is it women? Is it men? Age. Usually men tend to come to shows more easily just because they're kind of an easier, they're kind of easier. They do go to shows easier. So I think it's just a matter of kind of grafting. Why do they come to your show? Once they come once, if they come twice, 3 times, why? What brings them to you? And really nurturing that into what is next. Believe me, your music is maybe 30% of why they're coming back. They're coming back because you make them feel a certain way. And that could be through your vocals, it could be through your music, it could be through your personality. It could be that on that night, they are around people they actually like spending time with. So really understanding why people go to different places. Each release is a stepping stone building the momentum of the last. So don't overthink it. Embrace the journey, experiment, and have fun along the way. So now that you're getting in the process of putting out a song or putting out an event, and you're building a little bit of a fan base, take what you learn and keep building up. For example, do not change genres. I know people tell me that, oh, I don't have any genre. I just want to write whatever I feel like it. It doesn't work like that. Because if I'm listening to you and you wrote an amazing ballad, right? And it's an amazing ballad with orchestra. Everything is like cinematographic. You're taking me to a different world. And the next song you put out is a rap. I'm going to be like, oh, but no, I liked you for this. Now I'm going for a rap. I'm not in that mood. Remember, people also listen with their moods. So we want to keep them coming back for who you are, your reason why you're doing it, the feeling you give them. And that is, I know as the artist in me is wanting to scream right now, but it is about saying you have to stick to one genre, one way, try it out and see what happens. So how do I get there? It's the long game, people. It's the long game. So work smart. Again, like I said before, don't write in every genre. Work smart means also time, and running around everywhere and is not always the great thing to do. But work smart as in you're putting out music. Once your music is recorded and you're putting out new music, for example, network. You got to network. You got to put your music out there. You are in the recording process. Okay, in the recording process, build your strategy while you're recording, while you're writing. Think about the bigger picture. What does it look like once the single is out? Where am I? Who am I performing to? Just every step in your career is an opportunity to seek a bigger vision, but also to get there. So we just want to start with like little and then build upon. Be consistent. So the idea of you sticking to one genre, it has to be for 5 years minimum. If you're building an event, or if you want to build an event with artists, songwriters to come together, for example, it has to be something that you have to be willing to do it, let's say for 5 years. Because if you, in your mind, plant this idea, you'll know that it'll take time. It's going to grow little by little by little. If you think, I have to do this in 3 months, I guarantee you that in 3 months, if it doesn't work out the way you want to do it, you're going to quit. Or you're going to do something else to make it better, to make up for what you want. And this is not how you're going to build a fan base, a community. Everything's going to switch. So you have to know that you're there for the long run. And whatever comes next, it's fine because you got this. It's in your plan. Somebody wants to do a collab with you. Cool, do a collab. It doesn't stop you from where you're going. It's just another notch on your belt, basically, to where you're going. But if you're on the 3 months run, in 3 months I have to release this, I have to have that many followers, I have to do this, I have to, all this stuff, all those opportunities that are about to rise for you, you're not going to have time to even see them. So taking the time to really make a plan, a 5-year plan minimum, is how you're going to last for the longest possible. And then adapt. So now you have your plan, you know where you're going, but you have to adapt with what works and what doesn't work. And trust me, that's like one of the things that's the hardest thing, really, because people tend to have an idea in their mind and say, no, I have to release 5 singles this month, and well, not this month, but I have to release 5 singles in 5 months, and it's going to be like this, and that's it. If those 2 singles are not working well, or if those 2 singles are working but not as well as you want, look into it. See what works, why it works, why it doesn't work. See what you can change, what you can do better. Learn from that, and then maybe take a break and revise everything that you're doing. So then for the next one that you're putting out, you're like, okay, hold on, this worked this time. Now let me adjust. So always adapting is so important. Ask also the people around you what they think, the people that are listening to your music, what they think. Your approach will inevitably be unique to you, and you may differ greatly from the person next to you. So embrace experimentation and make adjustment as you go. That means that you may have started with, I want to be a superstar. And along the way, you find out that it might not be for you. And that's okay. That's not quitting. That's not, that's just you looking into, wait, hold on, what makes me happier? Where I'm at right now. And really adapting in that way, honestly, will save you so much time. So here are the top 5 things you should be doing right now to get your community growing. Number 1, your message, your voice. This is, again, we're going back to finding your reason why. You want to put, like, for example, an event together. Why are people coming to your event? Why are people coming back to your event? Knowing the reason why you're doing it. Your message on social media. The message of, hey, listen to my music, this is great. That doesn't work because there's so many artists doing that. So what makes you different from everybody else? It's really important to know what makes you different. And I know as artists or songwriters, we tend to be like, well, I don't know what makes me different because I'm in the making. I'm the creator of it all. Ask around you. What makes me different? Ask 5 people. See what they say. At some point, something is going to come up and you'll be like, that's it. That's what makes me different. That's my selling point. So how do we connect with you? We need to connect with you, your purpose. And that's how we use social media. The social media of like, look at me, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. But knowing why people come to your channel is knowing also why people listen to your music. So those are free outlets for you to put out to see what happens. One of the things about artists, and like, we don't want to do social media because we're like, our art is writing music, creating music. Our art is not social media. But I want to invite you to look at social media as your creative tool and to see what works. It doesn't matter if you are somewhere, if you don't need to be cool. You don't need to follow trends. Maybe you'll get there at some point, but maybe not. All I want to know is who you are. If I go on your page, wherever it is, and I see 5 posts, I'm like, oh, this is this person, cool. This is the music she does, this is this person, cool. That's all I need to know. Do I know this right now going on your page? A good question to answer. 2, network, make friends. It's an exchange. Don't only stay in your music bubble. Oh my God, when I'm releasing a single or when I'm doing an event, everybody knows that I'm doing the event. Wherever I'm at, the butcher, the hairdresser, everybody knows. Well, I'm vegan, so I don't know why I say butcher, but everybody knows that I'm having an event. Everybody knows that they should be coming. Obviously, our events, Amplify's event, are for music industry only, but everybody in the music industry knows. Even if they're men, they know about Amplifier, and if they don't, I tell them. Everybody should know about your events. And about your project. But again, why? Why are you doing it? Why people should come to your event? Is it just to have a good night out? Is it because you're going to connect with them on a deeper level? Is it because you feel like this is bringing them something that they haven't experienced before? All those things make somebody want to come to your event. And I mean, trust me, I've networked. I can network the shit out of everybody because I'm like, okay, let's go. But you find your thing and you keep putting yourself out there. Again, work with the balance of your schedule. If you're putting out a single, you should be networking. You shouldn't be home posting and that's enough. It's not enough. You should be meeting people in person and online. Not only online, not only in person. It has to be a 50-50. No one will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. Remember this. I'm not going to read her quote, but no one will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So if you're waiting for somebody to say, oh my God, you're amazing, I'm going to put all the money into you and I'm going to make you a superstar, that's not going to happen. I mean, I hope for you. Prove me wrong. But it's not going to happen. You have to work hard. And you have to believe in what you're doing. And you have to adapt. It's very important to adapt. If it doesn't work, let it go. Move on. Move to something that will work. And you will find that thing that works for you in everything. In everything. 3, tap into the power of your local neighborhood and roots. Okay, this is so basic, but you want your people to listen to your song. Why are your neighbors not knowing about your song? I mean, not knowing neighbors, but the store, the vintage store, the coffee shop, wherever you hang out, the restaurant you go out and have your favorite dish. Have you tried to say, hey, you know what? I have this song that's available online. Would you like to play it? It's something very little, but that creates community because that person met you. So now they're playing the song, and who's ever in the restaurant or in the shop or in the coffee place is like, oh, I like this song. Oh yeah, you know what? I know that girl. She comes here often. You should talk to her. That's creating community. That's built-in community and real people community. Those people will come to your show. They will buy your ticket and they will buy your merch because if they already like you and they're already talking about you, you're already halfway there. And remember that your community begins with you. It's built through your engagement and presence. So if you're not feeling it, if you're not in the moment, okay, that's difficult. But if you're the person that they want to see, you're the person that they want to get, you're the person. So you have to know this all the time. And again, making sure that when you go to that coffee place, you introduce yourself. You're like, oh, cool, you played my song. Thank you so much. Like, it's an exchange, right? 3, build your mailing list. Don't think that social media could do everything for you. Social media comes and goes. It's one day popular, one day not. There's algorithms and all that kind of stuff. Build your mailing list. If somebody likes you, say, you know what, do you want to receive my emails about my show coming up? They will want to because it doesn't cost them anything. And they're like, oh yeah, cool. But again, we have to make it interesting. What is it for them to get? Another song? Cool. But why is that song making them feel something? And 5, remember your music is both your product and your creative outlet. Stay present in the process and let go of attachment to the outcome. All right, that's a big, hard request, but if you can do that, you're on a good place. So do not staying attached to the outcome is one of the biggest. It's one of the hardest thing to do and to get there. But once you're there, it's so much more fun because you don't have that pressure that you put on yourself about wanting to be having to make whatever you're making and then having people have to like it. People have to listen. Oh, nobody came to my show. Why did nobody came to my show? You have to do something the best you can and let it go and see what happens. Whatever happens is going to bring you to your next step. If you're failing, nobody came to your show, fine. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be a singer. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. That means something went wrong maybe in the way you advertise the show. That means the next time, maybe it's too early for you to have your own show. Maybe you could do some collaboration and sing with other artists. All this stuff is very, very, very important for you to progress and build that community. So I offer mentorship, 10 sessions. That's a one-on-one. And obviously, we only have five spots. If you're interested for me to mentor you, please do reply, send me an email, and we can get started. This is the price because I don't want everybody to be surprised, as in it's not free. Because we really go into it, and we really go with, we spend an hour a month or every 2 weeks, depending on how you want to do it, to make whatever you want to make come through. And we really go with it. And that comes from social media strategy to live performance and it's all about building that community and finding your message, your thing on social media. Or of course, we offer I offer a 20-minute mentor session a month, and that's if you get our VIP membership, and that also includes you coming to the events for free and getting discounts on different things that we offer. So that's it for me. Any questions?
Starting out, and I'm trying to kind of emulate, I guess, the strategy that you've used to kind of grow the events that we do under A Cappella. And so I found that really interesting, thinking about what the mission is and the why, because I very much know what my why is and why I do what I do. But in my kind of public facing social media and all of those kind of strategies, I don't think the why actually really comes across. So when you look at it, you think it's about events, you think it's about, you know, it's just platforms for independent artists. But actually, a core part of our mission is about providing spaces for older artists, disabled artists, people that are coming into the industry for the first time at a much older age, and kind of shattering those glass ceilings. But you would never know that by looking at our social media. You would never know that that's kind of our mission. And the whole reason why I started that is because I'm an older artist, and it's like to get harder to get those yeses and those opportunities. And kind of that's what fueled the mission behind A Cappella. So I found that really useful. And it certainly gave me something to think about in terms of strategies for social media going forwards into the new year, about how we get that message kind of out there.
Yeah. And also, you know, I mean, we've spoke in different events and stuff, but I didn't know that was your thing. You know, I didn't know that, you know, this is my mission. I really care about this. And social media wise, it's really interesting because you get into ways of things and you have an event and you're promoting and that. And I think just always recentering on if you're scrolling, the first 5 posts, they tell me everything about who you are or who I want to follow or not. And that's something as we go along, I think it's really important to have that and to know that. And obviously, of course, life happens and you lose it and you're like, no, I need to get back on it because it's important to see it. So yeah,
there's something about curating your story, isn't there? So it's not just about the finished product. It's about why would people follow you? Because they're invested in who you are as an artist, or they're invested in your story, or there's something about you and your brand and your identity that resonates with who they are as a human being. And that's how you build community. You find that commonality, that common ground. And that's some of the great things about pop music and really skilled pop music writers, is that they're able to write a tune or a lyric that resonates with millions of people in its simplicity, but the message within that simplicity resonates with millions. And that's how I guess you build communities, finding that commonality and finding that common message. So that's certainly something that I'm going to think about kind of in my planning now for next year. But yeah, that's my 2 pennies worth.
Yeah. I think, yeah, exactly. Is that, but it's also like, for me, the more you say it out loud, whatever you're doing, the more you say it out loud to people, the more it becomes real. And then it's like, it's almost like normal. It's not like, I mean, obviously I don't go everywhere and say, hi, I'm Andrea. I run an organization for women in the music industry because you know, I don't all the time say that. I only say it to people that actually want to hear it. Like, people will come and say, oh, but tell me more about what you do. If you told me, oh, you know what, but for example, I think what you're doing is great, but I think there's a lot of things. So we can't remember all those things. You know what I mean? Like, so we're very simple being. It has to be 1, 2, max 3 things. And then that's it. So if it's all for older women, then that's great, because now I know, you know what, Becca does all the events for women over 40 or women over 35, whatever. And
not just women, artists.
Or artists,
not
sorry.
Yeah.
Artists. Yeah. Artists over 35. Cool, I know where to build. Or Becca does all this, or the artists that are just beginning in the career. If you're just beginning, you know what I mean? Like, it's the one thing to go to you that is like, and I feel like, especially the industry, it has to be one thing. That's why doing a multiple genre of music is very difficult, because you can't, you know, I'm like, oh, you need somebody calls me tomorrow and say, Andrea, I need somebody a country singer. I'm not going to send them a girl that's done country, pop, you know, because they'll be like, wait, hold on. I said country singer. I'm going to send somebody that has 5 to 10 country songs, and she's going to do country for them. You know, this kind of, yeah. I'm going to switch on the connection. Trigger. Hi, I'm Kat. If the why for making music is to connect with people, how can one properly bring this across? Any advice on how you should do this on social media? Well, you have to find different ways what works for you. What's easy for you. If you know, posting pictures of you doing something, having like writing down, like having the text on it, if that comes easy to you, then do that. But it starts with, hi, my name is this, I do this because. If you can answer that question, I do music, I'm a singer-songwriter because, and don't tell me because I love music. Because we all love music. But tell me, I do music, or I'm there because I want I don't know, whatever it is. If you can, and whatever your because is, it has to be honest and it has to be true, because the other person will be like, oh, that's cool. She knows, like, you know, you got it right. So that could be one way to figure out your why. And trying different things, you know, we're all always evolving. So your why today could be different tomorrow as well. But just knowing, asking yourself, wait, why am I doing this? Wait, why am I doing that? Wait, you know, I mean, I don't want to talk a lot about me, but I started my career and I was like, why do I want to be a singer? Why? Is it for the attention? Do I want the attention? Is that why? And I was like, well, not really. I'm 6 feet tall. Get the attention I want, you know? But why is it music? Why? And just making sure you keep asking yourself that question, that at some point you'll be like, oh, now I get it. I want to make music because I like to collaborate with people, because I like working with people. And then time passed by and you're like, wait, hold on. I don't want to be a solo artist being by myself. That's not my thing. That doesn't make me happy. What makes me happy is everybody coming together, working together, making something. That makes me happy. So keep asking yourself why. What was number 4 and 5? I lost connection. Oh, I can send you the draft, or we have another 4, building your mailing list. Oh, cool. And 5, your music. Yeah. Do we have anybody for one more questions or anything else I can help you with? No? Wow. It's a good thing or a bad thing? We don't know.
I think I can find a question maybe.
Oh, no, you don't need to.
Okay, so I've been spending a lot of time on the performing part, and the goal for me is to figure out which songs stand out so that then those are the ones I record. That is the process, right? Like, you want to record the best songs, the best body of work. And then I'm finding that okay, I think I just need to be patient. But it's just, I'm just like, where's the audience? You know, like, how can I find that I'm going from one gig to the next, and I have to figure out how to drag people, you know, like how to get the community, like, oh, we'll go to the next one. I feel like I'm just kind of going different places and just gathering, but then it's in this area, and then it's in this area, and then it's in this area, and it's like, which is the story of my life, to be honest. I feel like I've always compartmentalized myself in, like, in this friendship group, and then in this friendship group, and then the athletes, the artists, you know. But anyway, I'm like galvanizing and getting everyone into one place.
Yeah, I think choose one place and make it local. That's your best choice. Or if you can't local, a place where you hang out all the time. Like, choose that one spot so people that are there can come back because they've been there once, they've been there twice. If it's Brixton, it's Brixton. If it's Walthamstow, it's Walthamstow. If it's Soho, it's Soho. But I would say Soho is like a very hard one to do because it's extremely, it's run by a lot of corporation, blah, blah, blah. So it's very hard to be personable. But you want to be friends with the venue. You want the venue to talk about you. You want, really the local people. You want people to play your music. So then when they go out to get a coffee or a drink, they're actually playing the music they just heard. And to answer your question, to know which song is the best to record, ask people. You'll be so surprised how everybody has an opinion. And it's never, I don't think we have the right opinion of our music. I think what we think is good or what we think is the next hit I don't think is always right. I think asking people around you and be like, and don't ask one person, you know, ask 10, 20. I did this
I think
one.
that could be a way to engage the audience, couldn't it?
Exactly.
Amber?
I
Like
did
set
this.
it up at the beginning of your
Yeah.
performance, like let them know
Yeah.
that you're working on this
Yeah.
album, and you'd love to hear
Exactly.
their thoughts. You'd love to know which one was their favorite. Set it up at the beginning, and then it gives them an opportunity to come and talk to you about something after you've finished your performance, you know?
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. And also, like, why not, while you're building your mailing list, sending them, you know, I did before is I create like a 1 minute demo of each song, and I just sent it to 100 people, of people that knew me and some people that had no idea who I was, and just said, vote for your favorite one. And you know what was the interesting part of this was, one, they choose the song I never thought they would choose. The one I thought was the number one was the last one. So that was one thing to learn. But the second thing was, they were so excited to be part of the process, because they were like, oh my God, I've never heard a song before it's on the radio, you know? So that was interesting. So then when I put out the song, they were like, oh, you listened to me, you know? And but they felt in it. So that was a way for them to feel like they're part of your process, they're part of you. And that's, again, like, the reason why is finding what works for you and why you're doing it. If it's, you know, perfection, if you're going against Taylor Swift, you're not going to win, just so you know. There's a lot of money, a lot of money out there. So you have to find what makes you different than Taylor Swift, if it's Taylor Swift, whatever. But yeah, I would do local, and I would ask people. And then also that gives them a chance to talk to you at the end afterwards. Also, people are a bit scared to talk to the artist sometimes. So yeah,
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cool. Good. No questions. Again, I don't know if it's a good thing. I think it's because I talk too much. Everybody's like, whoa, it's too much to think about. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. We have our coffee morning on Friday. So if you're around and want to join on Friday, please do. And then we have our next event in December, which is our open mic, December 12th. So please come and join us. Yeah, Nandi is going to be performing. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have an amazing month. If you have any questions that you felt like you didn't want to ask, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always there. And thank you so much. And I wish you the best success in your career and all the love. Have a good night.